Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sherri Clarke. I'm a registered dietitian and a certified personal trainer. And this video is going to answer the question, what is the best type of exercise I can do for weight loss? So if that's a question you want answered, keep watching. Let's review a little bit of basic nutrition and weight loss 101 to get started. So in a day, let's take a 24-hour period, you have a total number of calories that you consume. The only way we consume calories is by eating them or drinking them, right? Now, we also burn calories in a 24-hour period, and we're going to talk about how we do that in just a second. But if we compare the calories that we took in today to the calories that we burned today, we would see we've either maintained weight, lost weight, or gained weight. And here is how. If the calories you take in exactly equal the calories that you burn, then you maintain weight. The way that you gain weight is when your calories you take in are in excess of the calories that you burned. And you guessed it, the way you lose weight is when the calories that you took in are less than the calories that you burned. So for today's video, we are not going to talk at all about calories in. That would be the nutrition piece of it. We're going to talk about the exercise piece, which is going to be calories out. So next we're going to take a look at what exactly goes into burning calories and how can exercise affect those things. So here's the breakdown of the calories that you burn in a day. Where do they come from? The biggest portion you can see, 60%, comes from your resting metabolic rate. All that is, it means that when you are at rest, how many calories are you burning? You need energy for things like your heart to beat, your lungs to expand and contract. So resting metabolic rate is the number of calories you need at rest in a day if, for example, you were going to do nothing but lay around. The second biggest contributor to that calorie burn is going to be your activity level. And that's going to include everything from standing up washing the dishes, taking the dog for a walk, to going for a 5-mile jog. Every single thing you do puts calories in that category and goes towards your overall calorie burn for the day. And then the last one is called the thermic effect of food. And basically that just means that there's an increase in your metabolic rate after you eat a meal or a snack, any food or drink, as your body works to metabolize that food. And that accounts for 8%. So our focus today has got to look at what can exercise affect? Well, we're going to take out the last one right here because exercise is going to have minimal effect, if any. How about resting metabolic rate? Can exercise affect that? Well, like I said, there's lots of factors that go into that, but one factor that can increase your resting metabolic rate is going to be your muscle mass. Well, does exercise affect muscle mass? Absolutely. So that is one way we can affect the resting metabolic rate. The higher our muscle mass, the more calories we are going to burn. And then you already guessed this one, the activity level, of course. Someone who doesn't exercise at all versus someone who's a marathon runner, who do you think is burning more calories? So overall from this, what we can see is we need to have an exercise routine that is a combination of muscle strengthening. I need to build some muscle, not that I need to look like Hulk Hogan, but I need to be toned and have a muscle mass that is going to facilitate some fat burn and burning calories, the overall calorie burn. But then I also need to burn calories by moving. And that could be things like biking, brisk walking or jogging, taking a dance class, etc. So that's what I need. So listen for, or keep listening for, my recommendations on the best way to achieve that. Before I get to the best exercise for weight loss, I want to talk about a couple of common exercises, which is walking, jogging, biking, really any kind of activity where you start, the heart rate climbs, and then it stays at a steady state. Let's say, for example, you go for a 20 or 30-minute jog. Heart rate initially has a spike up, and then it stays the same. So those type of activities are not great for weight loss. You may see some weight loss initially because the body has to adapt to that. So you know how when you first start out, that might be difficult to achieve or even impossible. Let's say I set a goal that I'm going to run 3 miles. And when I start out, I can't even run 3 miles. I have to end up after about 20 minutes walking. All right, but then eventually, 6 months from now, if I keep doing that 3 times a week, 3 miles, running 3 miles, no big deal at all. So my body has adapted to that. And so now I'm not getting the same benefits from that. The body is like, meh, whatever. So if I wanted to see the body challenged, I've got to do things like add in some sprints. I've got to change up that routine. I got to do it less and then do something else on the other days, a different kind of activity that maybe involves strength training. So if you are one of these people who walk or jog and that's pretty much the only exercise you do, but you do it a lot and you don't understand why you are not losing weight, that's probably it. You need to change it up. Let's talk about the #1 best exercise for weight loss, and it is, ta-da, high intensity interval training. You may have heard of it called HIIT, but it's actually not HIT, it's HIIT. So if you Google that, make sure you add in the second I or your search results will come up pretty funky. So what exactly is high intensity interval training? Well, as the name suggests, you do an exercise at a very high intensity level for a very short bout. Then that is followed by rest. And then you repeat that 4 times, 8 times, 10 times, depending on what the workout is. The short bout can be anywhere, generally, sometimes I've seen them as short as 10 seconds, can be 20 seconds. I've seen them as long as probably 45 seconds. So what kind of activity are we talking about? We're talking about maybe jumping jacks for 30 seconds as hard as you can go, followed by a 10-second rest. And then we're going to repeat that 8 times. For example, that's one exercise you may do in a HIIT workout. Why is this the best? Good question. Well, you can see that it's going to build muscle. It's not like just going for a walk or a bike ride or hiking. It's going to build muscle because you're going to work out all different muscle groups. Sometimes high intensity interval training workouts can even involve weights or body weight, doing things like planks and push-ups. So you are building muscle. Remember, we said that when you build muscle, it's going to affect that resting metabolic rate. And what research shows is that this is so effective for weight loss because you get an afterburn, like with no other activity. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when you are done with this workout, you are going to continue to have an afterburn of calories for hours later. Depending on what the workout is, you can be burning calories as much as 24 hours later. And that results in weight loss. So I'm burning more calories once I go home and I'm cooking dinner than I would have if I had gone for a jog. That is fantastic. Who doesn't like to burn calories that way? So that is why this is so great for weight loss. If you're just beginning HIIT workouts, then I would start off pretty easy. I'm going to put in the description some of my favorite YouTube channels that offer free beginner HIIT. Just make sure it's beginner HIIT workouts. See if you can do that. But you need to keep in mind that this is probably a level of intensity you are not used to working out. So a lot of people are kind of scared to push themselves. So medical disclaimer, make sure you have doctor clearance before you begin any exercise program. But the intense part of this is 80 to 85% of your maximum heart rate. So if you think of 100% of your maximum heart rate would be as fast as your heart can go. This is at 80 to 85%. That is pretty intense. So it's not just jumping jacks for 20 seconds at a normal pace. It's as fast as I can go for that short interval period. And then on the rest, you want to bring your heart rate down to somewhere 60-65% of its maximum effort. If it goes below 60%, that's where studies show we don't see the same afterburn that we're going for. So this will take some practice. Give yourself a little grace. Try some different workouts. How often do you need to do HIIT workouts? If you're a beginner, I would start with 2 days a week and then pick 1 to 2 other days a week to add in something different, like a walk, like a yoga class, a hike, anything else that you want to do, or maybe even just go, if you like to lift weights, go to the gym on that day and just lift weights. So you can mix it up, but I would start with this high intensity interval training 2 to 3 days a week, and then 2 to 3 days a week, maybe try to do something else. In summation, this is not exercise. This would not be high intensity interval training. This is my boy Sherman. Okay, so now you know, HIIT workouts. You got to get with it. Go at your own pace, but you need to push yourself. Challenge yourself. That's how you gain self-confidence, is you look at something and you think, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And then you do it. You got this, okay? Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you like my content, then please subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications button. That way, every week when a new video comes back out, you'll get a little alert. All right, thanks.